Welcome to CrossFit NOLA Online Wednesday. We have a benchmark workout for you today taken from Ben Bergeron or CrossFit New England or Comp Train. I think those three things are one and the same, called Surfer on Acid. So the WOD is going to be 3 rounds for time of a 400-meter run and then 21 burpees. And I have this little asterisk here that says use a 6-inch target if possible. And we'll explain what that means when we get into the meat and potatoes of the workout. But let's go ahead and take a look at our whole day, starting with our general warm-up. We have a 600-meter run. After you run, we have 2 rounds of 10 straddle stance inchworms with a press-up, 10 leg swings, 10 scorpions per side, and mobility of choice. We have another piece here that's not necessarily the general warm-up. I would call it more of a specific warm-up. But basically what we're gonna do, because we have some runs here and a really high heart rate, is that we're gonna get the body ready or prepared to handle that stimulus. So we have a 200-meter run plus 7 burpees at open quotes easy pace, a 2-minute rest, and then a 100-meter run plus 5 burpees at a faster pace at or slightly faster than you're gonna approach the workout at. Following the workout, we have a cool down of a 200-meter jog, a supine hamstring stretch, some cat-cows, a prayer stretch, and some wrist mobilization in and out there. So let's take a look at the movements that we have in our warm-up. The straddle stance inchworm is gonna get you ready for the burpee. What I wanna try to do is approximate my foot position when I kick up from my burpee. So sometimes a little bit of a wider stance outside the shoulders will help you get a flat foot on the ground to kick up from your burpee. So I'm gonna start with a stance a little bit outside of my shoulders, or that A-frame stance. I'm gonna reach down. Here I feel a stretch through the hamstrings. I'll walk out. I'm gonna come to the ground. Here's where I'm gonna add my press up. I'm gonna relax my lower body, press up and pause. Come down. And then I'm back through that inchworm to finish a stretch through the hips. So that's my straddle stance inchworm with the press up added to it. Leg swings, remember when we're doing joint movement, joint rotations or joint swings, we just want to move at the joint that we're trying to mobilize to be focused here. So I want to keep my core tight and try to move only at the hip joint when I'm going forward and backward, and the same as I'm coming across my body. Following that, the last movement in the warm-up is going to be the scorpions. Remember, we're going to be face down for those with our arms bent at about a 90-degree angle or straight, right? So if you want to keep your hands straight here and thumbs up and twist into that scorpion, great. If you don't feel a good enough stretch in the pec, you can bend the elbow to 90 degrees and then twist there. And then, twist to the other side. So those are our scorpions. We did those a little bit last week as well. You're gonna go into your runs that are gonna be your specific warm-up for the piece. Let's talk a little bit about the burpee. So this is really the big movement today outside of the run. The standard for the burpee is to get our chest and our quads to touch the ground and to jump up explosively enough to open our hip fully, take our body off of the ground, and touch our hands over our head at the top. We have a 6-inch target here, so if you have a branch or the edge of your porch or something you can jump up to and keep you honest, jump up to it. If not, make sure every rep you get an open hip and you're touching your hands above your head. It's going to increase the stimulus on the shoulders by doing this. It's going to be harder to open that hip than to stay hunched over. And I'm gonna do a couple of bad ones. Can I do a couple of bad ones? Right, so I wanna open my hip and touch my hands above my head, as well as bringing my thighs and chest to the ground at the bottom of the burpee. I did a couple of jump down ones. You can take a look at a step down one. Step down and step up. So those are a couple of options for your burpees. The workout is fast. I think that if you have to crawl a lot during this workout, that you should drop the number of burpees down so that you can keep intensity higher for the short period of time that this workout should be. I mean, I would bet that some people could, let's see, 2, 4, 6, I mean, probably sub 10 minutes for people who are really fast at this. So we don't want to be like climbing through these burpees like mud. If that's the case, let's bring the reps down a little bit so we can keep that intensity high through the 3 rounds of Surfer on Acid. The cool down starts with a 200-meter jog. We have 2 rounds of the supine hamstring stretch. We did this last week. You can use a band if you have one. If not, a towel works. I'm going to lay supine or face up. I'm going to grab the instep with my towel and pull my knee up, loading my hip. And then once my knee is bent, I'm going to put some extension there, trying to stretch my hamstring. If your leg is shaking, back off the stretch a little bit. It's a really good stretch to do some PNF with. Cat-cows while I'm down here. We're going to go through extension globally through the whole spine and then flexion through the whole spine. The 1-minute prayer stretch. So I have this chair here. You can use your ottoman or a step or just something that's a couple feet off the ground. You're going to place your hands on the object and drive your face down. And what you should feel is a stretch through the lats right there. And then finally, 30 seconds of wrist in and out. While I'm down here, I'm just going to go here, pushing the palms to the ground, stretching this range of motion, and then I'm going to come palms up and stretch that range of motion, and I'll do about 30 seconds on in and out, and that's what we mean there. So let us know how this goes. This is a benchmark. I'm sure you can find some results on CompTrain. I'm sure a bunch of people in our community are going to do it. So let us know how it goes. Good luck on it, and don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Thanks for coming to CrossFit NOLA Online.